Hello, everybody. I'm a minute late. Lena was supposed to be joining us, and then I just realized maybe she's not aware that we had a time change here. So I resent the invite to her. Hopefully she'll see it. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. I saw Sylvia in the chat. Hi, Sylvia and Sunflower. But again, my chat is delayed and I don't see everything because I'm on StreamYard, not YouTube. So my apologies if I miss anybody. So, any special announcement, you guys?
I just wanted to thank everyone for helping us with the fundraiser last night for World Central Kitchen. The donate button is still active and working, and we're up to over $6,311 as I speak. So I wanted to also thank all the moderators were wonderful last night. And especially a little thank you to Lucky Girl for posting all the links to the World Central Kitchen website and all the things that people could click on. Thank you all for donating. It's a really good cause. If you haven't donated and want to, you can still go back to the video, and the donate button is down underneath to the right, down underneath the live chat replay.
And I see Allie and Peggy. Hi, Allie. Hi, Peggy. Anything special for you, Mr. Johnny? Any announcements?
And their website, not website, but they have a YouTube page, and I don't think they have 10,000 subscribers, you said, or something like that.
Yeah, they don't have that many subscribers. So if you can't afford to donate, at least go to World Central Kitchen's website or YouTube channel and subscribe to them so they can get 10,000 subscribers and be able to put a donate button on their own channel. Right now, they can't even do a donate button. Are you coming up, Lucy?
Tuesday, I will be live with Tony at 7 p.m., where we will be talking all things tarot and oracle. Friday, we will be on Red Lentil Healing for our non-political live stream. And then Sunday, we'll be on my channel for our political live stream. And I just seen Jace. She invited me as well, but she has not given me a date, Jace. And so she wanted to do some oracle reads because she just got some too. And so that's what I got going on. But, stay posted. We'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Lucy's all happy she got to go for a little walk today because we got above 40. The snow melted off enough she could walk kind of through the yard.
I have a couple of announcements. I have just ordered 2 new bookmarks. They're coming from the UK. So as soon as I get them, I will have to share. Look out for a community post. One of them is blue and yellow in the colors of the Ukraine, the flag. And then in big white letters, it says, "Fuck Putin." So I'll have to share that with you guys and to share the link to the shop that I got it from to help support her. And then the other bookmark that I got is hot pink and it says Petty Bitch Club. So I'm like, yes. So now
on a shirt.
So I'll have to share that with you guys once it gets in because it's coming over from the UK. So I'm thinking it's going to take a minute to get here. But I got that it shipped out. I don't know how long customs is going to take. Another announcement. If you're going to get upset or cry or get your feelings hurt because we do like to joke and cut up on Sunday nights and you think that we should be sitting here crying our eyes out for the stuff that's going on in the Ukraine, please see yourself out before you're blocked. That's not how we roll. So we're not making fun of the Ukraine. We're not lightening that in any way, shape, or form, but we refuse. Speaking for myself, I refuse to go sit in a corner and cry my eyes out. So unless you're going to boot up and suit up and volunteer yourself, shut up. Don't tell anybody else that they should be miserable and crying because you're miserable and crying. So,
well, Adrian made a very good point last night. Everybody handles their emotions differently, and how some people vent out frustrations or anger or whatever is different from other people. So don't try to inflict on us how you want everybody to respond.
Yep.
You can only control your own reaction. You cannot control anyone else's.
And, like we were talking a couple of weeks ago, everybody's all wound up right now about the Ukraine. Everybody forgot about the kids in the cages. They're still there. There's a war, a genocide going on in Yemen. Nobody talks about that. So, it's just, to me, it appears to be emotional theatrics, but I'm just not an emotional person. So that's how it comes off to me. But it's like, don't do that. Don't try to beat people over the head to, because you're wound up about whatever it is that you're watching on the news. So, but that's all I got to say about that. So
thank you, Passing Show.
Can I say another thing too? Wait a minute, because I need my telephone for proof, but I think I deleted it, but it's still there, I think. Jace Hardnage, you was not waiting for me. I was waiting for you. You ain't gonna call me out and tell no lie at the same time, heifer. You sent me the invitation. You said I'll get back to you with a time. I think that's what you said. I really do think that's what you said.
So you got that, Jace? You got that?
I'm waiting on you.
He called you a heifer.
I'm clutching my pearls. How dare you?
Oh,
we're all gonna have to watch that video when they do get together.
Lucky Girl says, "Don't bring Zazzle into this."
Oh Lord Jesus, I'm gonna drown you, Lucky Girl. I really just start with this. I thought about them yesterday. Like, how much bail money do I have? Where's your headquarters so I can burn it to the ground? That's what I want to know. Relax, release.
Johnny was giving Lucky Girl a ticket last night in the chat.
So, oh man. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I am not looking forward to this time change at all. I hate it. I hate the spring and summer. I mean, the only thing I like is the flowers that I get to grow and the vegetables. But other than that, I hate it because I like it when it's dark really early. I like waking up when it's dark and going like the middle of the day, it's dark. This year we had no rain. So hopefully this next season coming up won't be bad, but Lord Jesus, I hope everybody's doing okay with the time change. So I'm sure phones update automatically, right? It's all the other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So check your other appliances and everything. Make sure your stuff is up to date or up to time. But with that,
coffee maker blinks continually anyway, so I never set the time on that. But everything else in the house does not change by itself. It's like
all of my appliances changed except for the coffee maker. So I'm trying to pour coffee this morning and I'm looking at the microwave and it says it's like, it's saying it's 8:30, but then I'm looking at the coffee maker and it has a different time. So I look on the stove and it's saying 8:30. I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
I always grab my phone. I know my phone's got the right time. It's like, did I change that clock or not?
So I guess, are you guys ready to start so we can?
No. But go ahead. Okay.
So I have a question. I just saw on Twitter right before we went live from Occupy Democrats. They posted that the Dems are passing a bill to radically increase the taxes on the big five oil companies to start their despicable price gouging and exploitation of Putin's Ukraine invasion to milk Americans at the gas pump. So, will the Dem bill to increase the taxes on oil companies pass?
Because only 8% of our gas comes from Russia anyway.
Jen, it's like when the word inflation came out of Joe Biden's mouth, prices went through the roof on everything. It's just any chance to price gouge.
So will they increase the taxes?
This Tracy, you're such a pretty girl, but nobody wants to watch you licking your butt on camera. You pick up a flea outside. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Well, there's some sort of hope. No, there's no increase in taxing the oil company. The Republicans do stand in the way. I get the Republican card here with the 4 swords, so they're not moving. They're not doing anything. They have no interest in it either. The Democrats do. They do want to go forward. They are kind of wandering alone, though, here with the hermits. So at this point, though, even though I don't really have high hopes for it being done, it does end in the Justice and the Star, though. So there is something that is going to be good that comes out of this, not necessarily taxing them, but maybe a lowering pricing or something of that nature once a little more attention is brought to this issue. But I will take this as a victory just in symbolism alone, that the Democrats at least said, you know what, we're going to tax you. If you're going to charge us at the wahoo, then we're going to charge you too. I'll still take that. I'll still take Page of Pentacles. It's very small. It's a very small thing, but me personally, I'll take it. But there might be something that evens out in the end.
Yeah, I get it's a loss on the bottom. It's like trying to move it forward to bring change and tallying the votes, and they're out in the cold. And I get two are stuck with the devil. So Mansion Cinema, I'm going to say, especially a mansion, they're taking money from these oil and gas companies. So no, I do get that Biden is going to find another way of, this work isn't done. He's going to do something else. And I think he's going to do some sort of executive order or something. So watch for that. He's going to do something else when it fails.
I get a no. There's your company. There's the bill. There's power and finance. So they're financing the thing, which brings me to my second question. The big 5 oil companies, guess what? We give them subsidies. So they're jacking up the prices at the gas station because the American people, us taxpayers, are subsidizing them. And then they get to rake us over the coals at the gas stations based on speculation. So will they cut the subsidies for the oil companies? I mean, because for the last 4 years, even through the pandemic, they've been bringing in record profits. And then the first time they jacked up the prices before this whole situation happened with Russia and the Ukraine, their argument for raising the gas prices was, well, we need to make back what we lost during COVID, even though they still had record profits even during COVID.
But they see all the electric vehicles and everything coming. So,
but I mean, that's what, hey,
but
the free hand of the market, that's capitalism for you, baby. Adapt or just go bye-bye. So,
and United Arab Emirates said that they were going to increase production.
So let's see, will they lose their subsidies?
And never mind.
Instead of subsidizing big oil, start subsidizing for renewable energy and vehicles, electric vehicles. How about that? So that we're no longer on the teat for, all these countries that we're constantly at war with. So
It irritates me.
You got Florida, who is banning getting help from solar companies. Like if you install solar, and then you have extra power that you sell back to the state, they're going to take that away. They're no longer going to buy your extra power that you're producing. So there's no stimulus.
There's no incentive for to get off of it.
Meanwhile, never mind.
Say it, Johnny. Say it.
I get the Fool and the Eight of Swords. That's also stuck. It's something that's not going anywhere. It's sort of part of our. I get no. I'll just leave it at that.
Somebody in chat was talking about Saudi Arabia. It was not Saudi Arabia. It was United Arab Emirates, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
I get a big yes. There's hope for all the money that they've been paying in for a long time. The Republicans, of course, don't like it, but I get the transitioning, working out all the details, and I get 2 yes cards. It's going to take a while, though.
Meanwhile, you get no free college and no health care.
Nope.
But let's say the Miami Dolphins want to move to Baltimore, and I bet you they'll build them a stadium.
The taxpayers will build them a stadium.
Yes. Meanwhile, the taxpayers can go to college for free, can get free health care, but they'll pay for a football stadium and a baseball stadium.
Or get a company to come near like Amazon. They'll build them, give them all kinds of tax breaks.
Can't get free health care in the middle of a pandemic with millions of people being laid off, even though in this country, health care is tied to employment. The words out of Pelosi's mouth was no. So I get no. That is secured. That is lifelong. That is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's guaranteed. So no, I get a no on that. So off to a petty question to make us smile. Stephen Miller. Oh, Jenny, you got it.
Mommy, please keep me on your family plan with the cell phone. I can't afford, to pay, $60 or $100 a month for. I lived in $1 million apartment in Washington, D.C., but I got to be on the family plan for my cell phone.
Well, but when you told me that, I got so confused, Jenny, because I thought his family had disowned him.
I know his uncles have. His
uncles.
One of his uncles very outspoken about him. I thought most of the family had. I'm kind of like, wonder if he was on it a long time ago, but his family never took him off of it. Maybe we should start there. Did his mom even realize he was on the family plan still?
So here's the thing. The January 6th committee has subpoenaed Stephen Miller's phone records, but come to find out, Stephen Miller was on the family plan with his mommy and daddy and everybody else. So now Stephen Miller is suing the January 6th committee to keep his phone records private because he's saying that it could leak his family stuff, which is personal.
Yeah, because he had all kinds of stuff on there when his baby was born and the things about his wife. And it's like, dude, probably had pictures of yourself hanging like a bat in a closet or something.
Probably has pictures of himself in a full-on Nazi uniform, knowing him. He's so disgusting. So
let's start first with, were his parents even aware that he was on the family plan still? Because I think that's a good point. A lot of his family had disowned him. Well, thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Adrian, and all the readers that joined us last night.
I get yes. 8 of Wands, there's your communication. 7 of Pentacles. They've been paying for it, so yeah.
I got a yes as well. I got a yes. They knew.
Yeah, I get they're stuck with him. They can't get rid of him. Like they're burdened by him. Like they're paying for it. You know, he's not giving them any money for it. They're paying for it.
Mm-mm.
How old is he?
He's in his 30s. Maybe even 40.
This looks bad.
Do you remember when he sprayed on his hair to go on that interview? Spray on it because his receding hairline, so his forehead goes to like right about up here. So he sprayed on all his hair to go on that interview.
See, he's 36.
36.
Born in 85.
How are you younger than me? Good God.
I tell you, when you're
That's what happens when you live off of pig blood your whole life, I guess. That's the wrong kind of vampire right there, I tell you.
Pig blood.
God, dog.
So will the January 6th committee get the family plan records?
And as a person who worked for a telecom on the customer service side, you can get records without getting everybody's records. Just, Stephen, in case you didn't know. You have your own whole separate page for that number. It's not like y'all share phone numbers. You just share a phone plan.
I bet his family's afraid of him.
Exorcism and a hard rock will get rid of that, though. I got actually don't know what this is in this deck. It's the Jack. So I'm going to say it's the Knight of Pentacle. No, Knight of Wands. So there's the action, 3 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. Yes, they will get it. It will be shared. The Hermit and the 2 of Wands. There will be some isolation, as I just said, of the Hermit of Nosferatu. So yes, there will be some isolation and they will get your business.
I get a yes on the bottom 2, wishes granted. Start with a big yes, they get it, victory card here. But I get there's something they're confused about. An image, a picture that's on his phone, on Stephen's phone, the son's phone, that's government related. There's an image that's going to take a little more digging into because it was secret. And I get it was something about defenses, and also collaborating with other people on January 6th.
I get that the committee is committed to the fight and the argument. Yes, they get it, but it shows the link here. It'll link him to the group of people that were fighting. The protesters, the angry mob, and it links
the rioters.
It links him. There's the link. So they're committed to getting it. They're committed to fighting, but it shows the link to the rioters. But it shows that they do get it. So TikTok, mother effer, TikTok. So,
but watch out, he may have a picture in a Nazi uniform.
Even more reason to off with his head. So here's another fun one. Tina Peters, who is the county clerk of Mesa County, Colorado, was just recently arrested. It's a fabulous video. For those of you that have not seen it, I urge you to go to Twitter and look it up. Because Jenny said she was kicking like a mule when she was getting arrested. Like
kicking back at the officers as they're handcuffing her. It's so funny.
Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me! And she's like, they're handcuffing her, and she's like kicking at the police officer,
like way up high, kicking. Yeah.
Like donkey
spectacle, like a rocket.
Well, she was arrested for tampering with election machines. 10 counts, correct, Jenny?
10 counts.
10 counts and election fraud. So she's in big doo-doo, but she's also currently running for the Secretary of State. So she's been arrested for that, but she's running for Secretary of State. So yes, Mel, add assaulting an officer to the charges too. Like, just keep whacking them on. So that looks like a two-part question.
Yeah, how's her indictment's going to go? Is she going to end up in jail? Because, you know, if you're black and you get caught on election fraud, you know, they put you in jail for 6 years. So,
let alone kicking police officers.
Yeah. She's another blonde Kellyanne Conway type.
And she was, I was reading, going to the rallies with Mike Lindell. For those who don't know who she is, that'll sort of give you the idea of the circle in which she runs.
The crazy people.
Oh. Maybe she'll have a nice fluffy pillow in jail then.
Yeah, that's what Mike Lindell should start doing, is selling pillows to the prisons for all
to those rioters.
So they'll all make some money off of that.
Oh, I didn't focus. What is the question?
How's her indictment's going to go?
Which also brings Mike Lindell into the picture, because Mike Lindell was all, but Mike Lindell didn't have access to tamper with voting machines and all that other stuff like she did.
Well, there's a man she worked with. It's come up here. The first two cards is a man here. I don't know exactly who he is, but there is a King of Pentacles there, dark-haired man, that she is working with. This is going to lead to a lot of regret. We got it too.
I get that same man.
She will be judged. This will be. I wonder if in a month's time or so, we're going to be doing readings on her cases or the judge or something like that. There's some leniency being shown. I don't know what for though. Like whatever the judgment is, it feels very soft in my opinion. But this just could be what it looks like. Maybe a 90 days in jail type of thing instead of, something a little more serious, seeing as how election tampering is a big deal to Republicans. So anyway, but it just feels as though, but there is jail, 8 of Swords, but it just feels a little lighter than it should be.
Yeah, she's got big changes coming in her life, though. And I get the court is going to send a message to her about this for tampering around, trying to mess with the votes and stuff. So victory, they got her. But I do get that man that she's partnering with that helped her secure some of the machines or something. I get both of them are going away. They're in for a big fight. But there's a collaboration between her and that man. So maybe it's my pillow guy. Maybe it's Mike Lindell she partnered with, because a businessman, King of Pentacles. There's something I feel like they cut from the case, as they go through the investigation. But I get she does end up having to go away. And Ace of Swords on that. She's in isolation. So I'm not getting the lenient thing that you're getting, Johnny, but I do get she has to go to jail.
I get that her time in public office comes to an end. That's it, kaput, ruined. But central to the read is Garden. So child power, Garden. So new in public office. And then Storks, which is change, but it's a change that brings an ending and a loss, ruin. But central to the read is Garden. I'm wondering if something civil comes out of this too, that brings further ruin, that increases. I don't know exactly what she was doing, but this would be the community that you oversee, that the government or her office the bureaucrat
in her
office
district.
overseas. But this is civil. So it has the potential to change or elevate something for her civilly that brings further ruin.
Part of the charges were identity theft, because she stole people's identities to change votes, right? Part of it was like election machine tampering. I forget what all the charges were, but part of it was identity theft.
Well, there you go, because there's something civil here that's central to the read. So not just how she abused her office, but there's something here where she was in a position of authority in government to oversee the public, but something here in the public got let out. Do you see that?
It had access to their private records to,
and then that could have brought ruin to people in the public. Do you see what I'm saying? So if she was stealing people's identity, there's nothing here that says that identities were stolen. I don't have mice here, but there's something in this community that was let out that has brought ruin. So maybe people's stuff got stolen, maybe their credit got hosed up, who knows, but there's something civil coming for her too.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if she's going to be able to win for state attorney or state secretary of state.
Secretary of State.
No, she gets blocked from running. She gets blocked from the government. She's not allowed to hold a government position after this. Oh, ma'am. And that man too, that gets brought into this. That man that she worked with. He funded her some. That's what I'm getting.
Oh, no. Ooh. She's got bigger problems than trying to run for office. There's the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So whatever this work is you're claiming you want to do, that reaches ruin, ending, loss. The Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. There's somebody you worked with, though. And so that secured you with a lot of money to do something. Maybe it was to run for office or whatever it was, but somebody seeded you a lot of money because of something they wanted you to do for them on behalf of whoever or whatever. But Justice and the High Priestess, a lot of this is coming out, and this is where your problem lies, is with the Justice. So never mind running for office. You might want to run for the border because justice is coming for you.
I get that she wants to be very famous and popular, and you got fame and popularity for the wrong reasons. We got you on film kicking like a donkey because you got arrested for election tampering. I get that the results of her election are small. So,
She went to the Donald Trump School of Publicity. It's like, do something horrible so we can become famous.
Yeah, to the Donald Trump and Mike Lindell School of Publicity. Like, I wonder if Mike Lindell's going to get in trouble too, because she was with him. I don't know to what capacity exactly, or if she was taking his advice as if he's a genius. It's like, you do realize he's a former crackhead, right?
Well,
we went to the rallies with him.
She was going to some of his rallies too. Yeah, where he was going to reveal the evidence and then had nothing.
So
can we ask, what is their relationship?
Sure.
Is he her finance?
Sugar daddy? Does she have a crackhead sugar daddy? For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
Oh, Lord.
That's either him or Don Jr., right?
He the one brought it up on stage, too, saying crack was not his thing. I bet it is. I bet it is.
Lots of donut shop visits.
I can't with these people. I mean, Mike Lindell's been dumped by every bank. Nobody wants to do business with him. His product has been pulled off the shelves off every retailer. He's running infomercials to sell his pillows at 80% off. Now they're like $12. It's like, that's probably what your pillows were worth to begin with. Like,
they're worth $12 if it costs $11.99 to make it. That's what
and this fool is over there throwing millions of dollars into a dumpster and lighting it on fire. When you could be feeding homeless veterans.
Mm-hmm. Or just put it in a big pool and swim it like Scrooge McDuck or something. But giving it to Donald Trump, that's okay. Do what you want, but I wouldn't.
He's about to be $2.5 billion from the lawsuit from Dominion. But
delay the vote counts, harvest votes for Trump so that he's the winner. And that was their agreement that they were working on that she got trapped in. Make sure Trump goes to higher ground. There's definitely an agreement there to make the winner.
I get the 8 of Swords, and I had to figure out what valet was. It's page. Okay. There's the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. They are sort of, they have an agreement. I wouldn't call it, 8 of Swords is a contract for me. There is, but it's not written down on a piece of paper, but they have, well, it could be, but it's not something, at the most, if you needed to find this, it would be literally probably under his pillow in his mattress. This is anyway. They have an agreement of some sort. Then there's the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. In order to disrupt or to remove or to throw out or to something like that. With the 5 of Pentacles, I was trying to separate something from the community, which was the votes. The Star of the Strength and the 7 of Cups also causing some confusion in the future when it comes to numbers. 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands. She did that, but not successfully, obviously, because she got caught. But your Page of Swords is like your spy, your liar, your thief. And so that's the relationship between the two. She was funded by Mike Lindell, allegedly, and for her to commit election fraud. So hopefully there's something that ties him in this. That way he can go away too. But that's
we can ask that next. I get the Lily, Stars, and Anchor. Their relationship, I guess, would be mutual to both achieve conservative celebrity, but also widespread whiteness. So, widespread whiteness. Mm-hmm. So can we look to see if her arrest will lead to Mike Lindell?
Does she give up the goats?
Yeah, is he going to have more indictments? Oh, she's in Lauren Boebert's district.
Oh, ain't that lovely?
That makes sense. We start calling her Bear Butt instead of Boebert. Because she shows her ass all the time.
That's I am amazed at how idiotic that woman is, and she's proud of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say proud of it. She's so stupid that she doesn't realize that she's stupid.
You know, I was thinking about this morning. I kept cracking up because I was thinking about poor Trump doesn't realize how stupid he is. Like, I kept seeing him with that Sharpie drawing on the map to make the hurricane go into Alabama. I was like,
as if drawing it on there will make it happen.
Just draw an arrow. It's like, that'll do it.
You think just because you got the title of president or for bare button because you're a representative, people are going to believe you? Come on.
As if people in Alabama can't go outside and open their eyes and see, oh, there's not a hurricane.
Sunshine, no rain even.
Ay, ay, ay. Did you guys go already?
I forgot what the question was. Oh, is it going to lead
to Mike Lindell?
Mike Lindell.
I get 7 of cups and the 4 of wands. There's your confusion. And the 4 of wands is a completion, or it's a in this case, because I get the 8 of swords, 2 of swords, there's not enough evidence. Or there's something she's withholding too, because I still get the liar and the thief and the spy with the page of swords and the 3 of cups. There's somebody else involved as well. It's not just them two. It's a third person. But there's not enough evidence to put him away. It would be enough evidence to implicate. But to create the strongest of cases to actually get him arrested and tried and convicted is a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
but he is implicated.
Secret knowledge on the bottom here. I get no on Lindell, leading from her to him. I get a no, but it's the tower for her. But I do get there's a whole bunch of thieves on the payout that are going to get caught up in this, and it's people that were shifting votes around for Trump. So there may be a connection made to someone in Trump's campaign or something. They're going to get really burdened. There's at least 2 more people that get burdened by her, but I'm not getting it's Lindell.
I get a yes on Lindell.
Do you?
Stars and sun. He was given some sort of guidance for success or energy. So I get a yes. I don't know. And this is also technology. So like your internet or anything technological. And this is energy like light bulbs and gas and heating. Okay. So he was given her guidance on the machines and the energies. So I don't know if it was the whole bull crap about the what machines are you using? Are you using the Dominion machines or whatever? But I get a big old blaring yes for him because he was giving guidance on it.
Wow.
So, but I can't remember who originated with the conspiracy theory, if it was Mike Lindell or Rudy Giuliani or the crazy lawyer Kraken lady, but he was giving guidance on the machines for success. So I don't know.
And he still lost. Was it worth it?
And after all that hoopla in Arizona with the cyber ninjas destroying machinery that the taxpayers have to pay for now because they've been deemed like you can't use them anymore.
Compromise.
They've been compromised and destroyed. The taxpayers get a nice bill. And those dirty SOBs are telling the judge, F you, we're not giving you anything. And they're still walking around. So I don't know.
Can we do a question Allie gave me?
Yeah.
She texted me. I thought it was interesting. Trump was just in New Orleans last weekend, with this airplane that made the emergency landing and all that. We read on that last night. But Trump held a contest for small dollar donors, like people that can only afford to give $5, $10, $20. He had a small contest for small dollar donors to get the chance to meet him in New Orleans. Now, Trump doesn't want to shake their hands. He's Mr. No, I don't like these people. He failed to pick a winner. So there's a DA in Chicago that's threatening to sue
Trump for defrauding his
bases, like they were, donating $5, $10, whatever, and getting a chance to meet Trump. That's a contest fraud.
Okay, this is going to sound really mean of me to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you're that damn stupid and if you're that damn stupid and you keep giving this piece of crap all your money, I hope you lose your house. I hope you lose the roof over your head, all the food and everything. You can't even afford to get yourself a license to drive. So when it comes down time to vote, guess what? You can't vote because you have no proof of residence, don't have an ID, and all this other stuff. So at least it's one way to thin the herd of idiots. Like
during the voter registration.
Kind of like what was his name? Not Hot Wheels, but the other guy, Cawthorn, that just got arrested for not having a license, and he was driving anyways. But he's pushing for laws in his state that you can't vote without a license.
Yeah, take his license away. Hey, Lena.
Howdy. Howdy.
Sorry, I'm going to rant.
Oh, God. I woke up this morning, pressed power on the computer, nothing.
Oh, no.
Absolutely fucking nothing. And so I had to dig out under my bed. I'm probably covered in cobwebs. This is my old computer.
You look fabulous. You look fabulous, Lena.
Oh, you just put the lipstick on and hope for the best, don't you, really? Oh, God knows what that's about.
So, Lena, we're reading on Trump had a contest for small dollar donors that were coming to see him at his rally in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And he neglected to name a winner, failed to name a winner. So it was contest fraud, and also tied to campaign contributions. So now a DA in Chicago is threatening to sue him. So is Trump going to get sued for a fraudulent contest? Add one more thing to his bingo card.
Look, and here's the thing. He keeps doing it. He's doing his bit to get arrested. It's just the system.
He's throwing everything on the table, and
he's given it his best shot over and over, Oh my God. We're not live yet, are we?
Yes. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, hello, world. I'm sorry about my language.
Put your comments on the public comments.
Oh, there we go.
Is the DA a woman?
I don't know. I just heard a Chicago DA in the article was threatening to sue him.
So here's my problem, though. Okay. If you are willing to give him money for anything at this point, mind you, don't even you have to believe the Democrats and they keep saying he's a thief and the blah, blah, blah. Forget all that. He paid $25 million, that's fact, for his scam university. That shows you right there that he is a thief and a con artist.
Yeah.
But you put that aside because he stoked your racism, so I get it, fine, okay, whatever. And so you're still willing to give him money. I say at this point, let him keep it. Let him have it. Let him have more. Give him some more money just for
give him
nothing.
more.
Hey, Trump, you tied your shoe today. Here's $16.
And here's the thing about his new platform too, the social media platform. We all knew it would sink without a trace, but you had to pay to subscribe. He's always doing.
Like I was saying, Lena, at this point, I hope you all go broke. All of you.
Because at what point do you stop feeling bad for people? At one point, is it wrong that you keep robbing stupid people of their money? You see what he is. You have to at this point. I mean, what you're doing right now is choosing to ignore it. And so, and some of them, and I guess the cult mentality is still there for some and they still believe in him and whatever. If you give him why am I feeling bad for you for? There are people out there with no chance to make the money you have. So feel bad for them. Never mind Argentina over here who keeps giving him money for a chance to meet him.
Yeah.
So he can bring you McDonald's from the dollar menu, Johnny. That's how he
look at Jenn's card.
Yeah, so give me some money and you get to meet the celebrity apprentice. And I get the courts block him from having a contest. in his name. I don't know that they'll get him on campaign finance fraud, but I do get the tower card here. I get a yes card. There is more money involved, so I do get it's going to be a court battle of some kind. They've got options of which way to go with this. So,
because it just keeps happening.
Oh yes, dear. He almost his plane had to make an emergency landing a few days ago, leaving from Louisiana to Florida. You know what he's doing now, Lena? Asking his supporters for money so he can get a new jet.
Oh,
A supposed billionaire.
Trump flow dollars. Why I called him last night. That's what his name is.
Yeah. You know, I only hope, because you can't save those who still follow the man. There's no hope now.
Nope.
But you'd have to hope the lending institutions are watching all this, because all they've got is their name. If they do go broke, they've always been able to go to the next place, the next place, the next place to borrow money. And you'd have to think that well is drying up, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
and squeeze out of a rock.
well, especially since there's sanctions against all the Russian banks, he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah. Oh, he's still got Saudi, you see.
Yeah.
He's still got Saudi. Will I go? What I've got?
Yeah,
this
sure.
question. So the Queen of Pentacles, this is the Thoth deck for those watching. So, you know, money, 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 followed by the 10 of Cups. And in this deck, the 10 of Cups is called the unpronounceable, I can never say it, satiety, meaning saturated. You know, it's enough now. You've saturated this scam to the nth degree. Oh, the death card that just flew around the room. The death card, there will be progress on this case, because sometimes it's the little things that do go ahead. And there's the Hierophant sitting over the lot. So I do see a court case.
yeah, but here's the thing. Oh,
The
Jesus.
line.
It's stuck in the throats, in my throaticals. It's stuck. A little bit. I'm rooting for Donald Trump here. That's a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Because I am at this point, well, not at this point, at 2 years ago point, I can't feel bad for none of them. We're watching them constantly get scammed, and we think, why don't they wake up? Why don't at this point, no, you're choosing to ignore this.
Yes.
Because even people on y'all's same side said, you know what? All the things he said he was going to do, he didn't do. Yeah, for the last 77 years, he's been saying things he was going to do and didn't do. So now you just found out. Anyway, I get the Six of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Something does progress. Something does move on. There's an investigation, all that good stuff. Ace of Swords and the Strength. There is some information that does come out. There's proof. There's all this. There's enough evidence to push something forward. I mean, I said this before, I'll say this again, we'll have to say it another time. Stop looking for blood in the water when it comes to Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
he's going to pay for that. Oh, he's going to pay for that. No, he's not. I mean, if you get it, great. But don't stop looking for it, though, because my last card is the Five of Cups. So there is some sort of regret and loss. But don't get your hopes up. Don't turn no cartwheels.
No, and I'll tell you another reason why not to get your hopes up. He can make a case really easily as a big fish, no matter what else he is, he's big. I had no idea.
You pick a winner and shake their hand for 2 seconds.
Someone else will take the fall.
Yeah.
And any lawyer could make that case. Donald Trump wasn't following the fine print of this competition, right? So again.
Yeah. Somebody else wrote it up. He had no idea.
Yeah. And
I get a no. I get a no. No.
Yeah. I think there'll be a legal something, but it's nothing for him.
No, it doesn't go anywhere. So he's got an out. So let me see. Okay. So let's see here. This one is one of the questions from Jenny. I'm going to sit this one out. simply because of the Grand Tableau. But Jenny wanted to know if Putin is going to attack any of the NATO countries, and that is the last I'm asking about Putin or Russia. I am not going there in the channel. I don't want
in order to escalate things. Will he try to go after a NATO? Because he's right on the border of Poland right now. So will he try to go after a NATO country to force NATO's hand?
And as soon as I get that bookmarked, you guys, I'm sharing it with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I should have gotten more than one so I can give them away. But I wasn't thinking at the time I hit order.
And we know he wants the formerly USSR countries, but will he go after a NATO country to force their hand?
Oh, Bonnie's saying in the comments, it wasn't his jet. His has been grounded for about 5 years.
Oh, but he's still asking his supporters for money.
Yeah.
To repair a jet that's not even his. So that's a lie and a cheat on two fronts.
Yeah, because his jet's up in New York.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And by the way, why would these people feel so inclined to dish out money to a self-proclaimed billionaire? If he's a billionaire, he should be able to pay his own bills.
Don't look for the logic. Don't look for the logic.
I mean, Lena, seriously, you should be asking him for money. Hey, by the way, Donald Trump, since you did that ridiculous tax scam, I can't afford my taxes every year. How about you send me some money? And see how quickly he replies to that. You know?
It's, yeah.
He's a city man. He doesn't care about the corn huskers and the pickup truck drivers and all. He don't care about
Who was it, Johnny?
No.
Who was
and
it?
He's never spent an hour with any of them. You know, he comes in and he's posse. It's me.
Outside of Mike Pence because he had to.
Yeah. And then that's it.
Who was it a while ago when he was going to one of his rallies when he was still in office and there was all these leaks that someone had said that they were in a meeting with him and he referred to his supporters as those disgusting piece of crap people? Like, that's how he thinks of them.
So here's another thing too. I need to do a reading on her actually too. Stephanie Grisham has been making the rounds. She was in Melania's camp and worked in Trump's White House. She's trying to rehabilitate her image. So she's saying, oh, Trump was a horrible person and he was laughing at you, but she was on The View. So Google and YouTube all her little View clips of her trying to save her image. She's a piece of work too.
You sat there.
Well, you have to be to do that.
Yes.
If there's anything worse than working for Donald Trump, it'd be working for Melania, don't you reckon? I reckon she'd be hideous to work for.
I'd slip her some X-Lax in her coffee just for extra dosage.
I'm getting the lovers for NATO, the alliances, that he's going to do some sort of backstabbing message, in other words, propaganda, to show he's justified going after them. So he's up to something in a twisted way. Just like he said, there's Nazis in Ukraine. He's going to do something with a NATO country to justify going after them, because he wants the end of this alliance. He doesn't want it to continue. So yeah, he's on the border right now with Poland, trying to raise people's suspicions here. But it's going to be a twisted point of view of whatever he's doing for propaganda purposes.
I don't get an answer to this question. I get something completely different. It starts with the Knight of Cups, and this deck, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups are the same card. There is some sort of union, I can call it NATO, with the Ten of Cups, the happy family. Then there's the Ten of Pentacles, there's security, and there's the Ace of Swords. There's just information that's going to be coming out about security. The Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands, which is strength in this one, they are going to basically go on the message of reassuring. So even if Poland were to get attacked, or anybody in that region that is part of NATO, there's just going to be a message of reassuring. So I don't get whether he is or not, but they're going to be proactive and go out and say, we stand together, blah, blah, blah. Like I said before, Putin and Trump are merging into being the same person. And as Trump united the world, so shall Putin. So that's a good thing that is coming out of this, though, is people are standing together and saying this is not right collectively. So there's that, at least.
Yeah, I've got not yet. It's sort of a maybe. It starts off with disappointment, followed by defeat, which is what he's feeling now. This is as the spread progresses. He's looking at this defeat and he's traumatized, seeking power and dominion with the Two of Wands here, and the Knight of Wands. And so I always see the Knight of Wands a bit differently than the conventional. The conventional reading is fire, wands, off you go. But I always see it with the horse slightly reined in. So surveying the ground. So I think he's actively looking, where do I go? What can I do? Where to next?
Where's his next?
I don't know that he'll finally go there, but he could.
You know what really surprised me, Jenny and Lena? I saw on Twitter that the Russian soldiers that are being caught in the Ukraine, what they're telling the Ukrainians is absolute propaganda from Putin. I was like, are you kidding me right now? So you're sending your boots on the ground with complete misinformation. They were saying that they were told that they were fighting this war to stop Nazis, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Well,
from the head of state all the way down.
Okay,
because
look,
Putin cares about racism.
Troops to be sent somewhere not knowing what was happening or being lied to, right? This has a long history. We're looking at Putin, isn't he evil, isn't he bad? But look, let's face it, that's the history of sending conscript soldiers to war. Mm-hmm. So, for example, in Australia, we follow America around every war as if Australia is being threatened, after 9/11 or with anything, So we were lied to, as we were all lied to about the weapons of mass destruction. So let's I think it's more helpful to look at it as this pattern of doing this everywhere needs to stop. And if you're a serving soldier, you really need to be informed of what's going on in the world, exactly. Because you're the cannon fodder.
There's the whole, Trump about McCain, I like soldiers that aren't caught. There's Russian soldiers now that are afraid, that are captured in Ukraine, that don't want to be sent back to Russia because there's firing squads waiting for them.
Yes.
Their parents are like planning their funerals if they get sent back because they were caught. They're at risk of facing firing squads. It's like, oh my God, it's just like.
And already, there are different figures. How many Russian soldiers have been killed? And some are saying as many as 13,000, others saying 5,000. Even if you take the bottom figure, that's more soldiers have been killed in these last 2 weeks than in the whole time they were in Afghanistan and the whole time they've been in Syria. So that's 20 years in Afghanistan and 3 years in Syria, because they normally come in with the big muscles. They're not the ones who die normally.
Yep.
So their culture isn't ready for these sort of numbers.
And I've seen on the Twitter too that there's a lot of them that are deserting, that are being deserters, that are just like F this, just turning themselves in to the Ukrainians, deserting the Russians. And it's like, and then I saw on Twitter too that the Ukrainian forces have sniped out, I think, like 4 or 5 top level generals of the Russians. And it's like, you didn't know what you were up against when you stuck your big old wanker or your tiny little wanker, your small sausage in the face of the Ukraine. He wasn't expecting that at all. But
no. And you can't blame him.
Against the wall.
You can't blame him. A month ago, it was a different world. NATO was weak. The EU was struggling with Brexit, etc., etc. It looked like a slam dunk.
Yep. So this leads to another question.
Hang on 1 second. Thank you, Margaret. And while you're on that point about Twitter, Becca, I just wanted to remind people, because I know the Twitter sites you watch, be careful what you watch on social media, because there is a lot of Russian propaganda out there. Mm-hmm. There's a whole thing on CNN about fake videos that are running all over Twitter. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're following your trusted sources when you're watching Twitter.
That's really important.
Yeah, don't fall for it. When you start seeing people retweeting all these videos and stuff, there's a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah. So make sure that it has like a little blue check mark that tells you that it's the correct original source. So like CNN or any other reporter that you follow, independent reporter, make sure it's got a little blue check next to the name.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
So there's the final question, and I'm going to split this one out, that was on the community page was why didn't Putin invade the Ukraine while Trump was in office? Because to everybody's mind, it made the perfect opportunity. Trump would have turned a blind eye. The Republicans probably would have followed along. I mean, he extorted the Ukraine and they still let him go off of impeachment. So why didn't he attack the Ukraine while Trump was in office? And that's the last question on the Ukraine.
I just heard midterms, because right after the Ukrainian quid pro quo were the midterm elections in 2018. So we had the House, like the Democrats had the House. So let's see what the cards say.
There was more actions that needed to be taken. Putin didn't want to wait. So Trump was, mind you, Trump was supposed to win.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that they did at literally throwing your vote in the trash, tampering with every machine. We just got through reading on Tate & Peters. So this was going in all 50 states, not just that one. So they figured, okay, he was going to win. I get the Two of Swords and the Hermit. There were still more things that needed to be done. They weren't done just yet. The trigger was not pulled. Then there is the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Some other laws and other things were supposed to be enacted. Other operations of force as well. Remember what he got impeached for the first time. And it involved the Ukraine. So they were working on this. This was something that was building up. This was not something that was going to happen even just in those 4 years. But there was a problem within the government. Some sort of thing was off balance. They weren't quite ready to do such a thing just yet. But he was supposed to win, and he did not. Mm-hmm. So now he kind of full on the bottom. Now he has to sort of carry on with his plan because he doesn't have Trump anymore. Which is why you see he's not prepared.
Thank you, Cold Toast. What'd you get, Lena?
Well, this was Putin's call to a certain extent. It looks like here. So we've got the Chariot, and then I love this card in the Toff deck. It's normally my Ivanka card, the lion or the tiger's tail wrapped around the neck. Putin thought, I've got this guy, meaning Trump, not a problem. I could go in now, but I think his real reason was, more or less as Johnny said, let him go another round and then I can make him buy all our oil and things like that. He thought he could do bigger deals with second-term Trump.
It's interesting that you guys say that because Marie Ivanovich has been making the rounds on interviews, and she's been asked a couple of times, I think by Roy Reed, and there was another report, I think Chris Hayes, and she has said on more than one occasion, she looks totally different than she did during impeachment, though.
Okay.
She looks fabulous. She was saying that she is convinced had Trump gotten a second term, he would have pulled us out of NATO.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Putin was waiting for. He thought it would all be good. There'd be no NATO and
destabilization in
trade
all the
deals.
big powers. No EU, no NATO, no US and NATO.
Yeah, easy peasy.
That's
Like I
what I
said just
did, 'cause
before, he would have thought even now without Trump, it was good.
That's what I get. I get he hoped to take an action while Trump was in office, but was delayed. I get first by Republicans because of midterms, and second because we're stuck in the alliance still. We're still in NATO. And that was giving him some anxiety and burdening his decisions. So he wasn't ready to go there yet. Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.
Speaking of midterms, Trump has been endorsing Trumpian candidates left and right, and he has been giving them the ultimate kiss of death. Everybody he has endorsed has automatically tanked in the polls leading up to the
bliss, because not only does he do that over and over, he really runs down the other candidates while he's doing that.
Yeah. So please,
really savages the other candidates.
By all means, keep going. Keep going.
Keep killing both of the Republican candidates.
By all means, we encourage you. We encourage you. So on that note, the House Republican midterms, how are they going to do?
House Republicans. Okay, House Republicans.
Because Kevin McCarthy and a few others are already speaking about reinstating Marjorie Taylor Greene back to all her committees and just all this other basically letting the crazies in the party take over.
Yeah.
Which is turning off a lot of voters.
Lauren Barebutt too. He wants to elevate.
Yep, elevate Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. So how is GOP going to do in the midterms for the House?
Thank you, Lisa, for reposting the questions.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, if you want.
Sure. Okay, I've changed decks. I'm now using the Japaridze. First card, GOP.
Is that supposed to be the tower, Lena?
No.
But it's a volcano.
No, it's the 8. The 8 of Wands. Volcano. Okay, so following up on that, here's the 9 of Pentacles, which is the good life and what they've had. You know, I'm talking here about the old guard more than the Marjorie Taylor Greenes, but she's rich anyway. So any of those who don't sweat it, they've always had an easy life. But the problem is for them, this is the 10 of Cups, 10 of Tides. It's all emotion. They're running on emotion. There isn't a political strategy between any of them in the entire party. It's only emotion. 2 of Wands or the 2 of Swords, they've got to try and find a way, and they can't. I think they're going to go into this very divided, and it's going to be virtually a GOP civil war. This is the card of war here.
By all means, have at it, Haas. Have at it. All day, every day.
But I did love the volcano for the signifier.
That's awesome. I get their walls are thin, their seats are thin, their fortune's changing, but it's not for the good. It's like all their work will reflect that. I get big changes for them, and they're out in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
I get Biden will be celebrating and feeling very hopeful.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
And I get that Dems are riding high because of how Biden and they have handled Russia. Contributes a lot. So
the first card I get is the 8 of Cups. There's some abandonment, walking away. There is something about the fight in the House that some Republicans are actually giving up on.
Mm-hmm.
It might, because see, it usually happens, midterms, something flips, and then the incumbent no longer has complete control, that whole type of thing. Biden doesn't have the Senate. I think that's what they're more concerned with, is the Senate flipping at least one seat. That way you still got Sinema and Manchin, who are just Democrats in disguise. And then you can have one more Republican seat somewhere, then you have the majority. But the House, I think they've given up on that part, especially since there are so many low hayseeds, so many things that they would like to clean out of the House. And the Democrats are rooted. That's my Democrat card. They are rooted. They have it. There's some other little plan. There's going to be some sacrifice on their side. So I think they're going to maybe do a little kamikaze and destroy their party from within to try to rebuild something better.
And I'm here for it. I get that there's losses and loyalties are distant. So people are just, I don't know if it's their base, what the people that have a brain left that are just like, I can't deal with that. This party is nuts. And like Lena was saying, it's just fabricated culture wars and crazy emotion. That's all it is. What are they promising? If we win, we're going to impeach Biden. For what?
Yeah.
That's the only thing they have. We're going to impeach Biden. That's it. No reason, just because,
they have to retaliate.
Yeah, we don't plan on making your lives better. We just political theater, and I think a lot of people are just over the.
Maybe he'll wear a tan suit too.
Yeah, there's a good way to get impeached, Biden. Wear a tan suit. So, so here's another one. The GOP Senate. GOP has more seats to defend than the Republicans do this go round. So how will the GOP Senate go in the midterms? There's quite a few that are saying that they're not seeking re-election as well.
And that's a bit of a worry because they tend to be the saner ones who are getting out. So it's a bit of a dilemma. You've got to hope, they put more crazies in and that puts people off, but they could get a whole room full of crazies,
Yeah, there's one, I forget who it is, the guy in North Carolina who's running for Senate. Well, he's no longer running, and there's a Trump person that was endorsed, and as soon as Trump endorsed him, he sank in the polls. But they were showing the map, I think on Colin, the Farrell guy, Ring of Fire guy, and he was saying that part, that North Carolina is turning very purple. So there's a good chance that you can, hopefully not another Manchin Sinema Democrat, but so.
Okay, GOP Senate.
Oh, he already wore a tan suit.
See, I figure they're all bluff. They'll say that to their constituents, but they would never impeach and take out Biden because then they have Kamala. And the one thing their base does not want is a strong black woman as president. So I doubt seriously they would ever follow up on that. But it's really funny because, if a Republican president's in a time of war, they're all about getting behind the president and backing him up, but yet they don't do that with Biden.
I get there's a lot of worry with their Senate.
A lot of what? Sorry?
Worry with the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of worry. The Six of Pentacles and the Emperor. What they need is plans and leadership. They need something going forward. They also, this is a very bad time for their coffers right now, given how their piggy bank has been sanctioned.
Yes.
To death. So they need some. Now, mind you, they'll find, a tin can somewhere.
But all of that.
But the crippling of the piggy bank is still there. They're going to keep the regular seats, the ones who are there and they have this type of state that would never vote for a blue anything. But this is not secure just yet. I get the 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. There's a lot of work, a lot of chore with the 7 of Pentacles that still needs to be done. The harvest is not here yet. They still have a lot of work they need to do. Fundraising is definitely number 1 that they need to do. Controlling the narrative is number 2. And trying to get, because they don't have to worry about districting because this is the Senate, but they do have to worry about not voter fraud. What would you call it? Manipulation of the votes, like trying to disenfranchise certain people. And you need the turnout to be in your favor. And so that's number 3. So they got a lot of work to do.
It's going to be close. I'm getting there may be some runoffs. Runoff elections. But I get the power of the bullies ends, so, and I see the bullies as the Republicans. I don't think they'll win the Senate, but I do get that there may be some additional runoffs that they have hope over, but they're delusional, like they're not going to get it.
Hopefully they'll vote out Kristen Sinema, because I'm sure the Democrats in Arizona have had it with her, period.
Yeah, and I think the voters have had it with her.
Oh, yeah. So even if you lose Sinema and get a real Democrat in there, not some flippity floppy wet fish, stinky kitty, then you'll be fine. Because
there is a risk, of course. They experimented with her, and then they'll go Republican because she was such a wet fish. That's a worry.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot to prove, right, this time, because they haven't accumulated a track record. So that'll be 2 years into this thing, and they're just howling at the moon. So mine kicked off. I did 5 cards, 3 are major arcana. Wheel of Fortune, this is absolutely their karmic. They've worked hard to be absolute bastards, and now it's coming home. The Drowned, which is this deck's version of the Hangman, right? The Drowned. I think they're all drowned. The Tower, just in case one wasn't quite clear. 7 of Swords, the Theft, in this case taking the candlesticks and all that. And I thought, does that mean they're going to steal or win and stuff? So I drew an extra card, but I got the 7 of Fire, which means I think they're going to implode or explode or something. It's going to, I think, be a bit dramatic how bad this will be for them. At least I hope so.
Hopefully Mitch McConnell's dead hand will fall off. I get a no. I asked if they would gain control. I get a no.
No, good. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The biggest thing, of course, that could work for America as a country would be for all those who are disenchanted with Trump and the GOP to not vote.
Oh, yeah.
Please, God, they just don't vote.
And hopefully, Lena, just like last time during the presidential elections when Donald Trump himself told people to stay home and not vote, he did that. He himself suppressed his own vote.
The miracle in Georgia, as I refer to it, was directly that.
Yeah, so let's have a redo of that all over.
Let's have a redo of Georgia. And if I was 26 or 62 or whatever, and I'd put everything behind these guys all this time and still nothing was happening, I'd be thinking, why would I bother? Yeah.
But a lot of them are suckers, Lena. A lot of them are suckers.
Oh, indeed. And the Dems still have to go hard at getting people out.
Yes.
Because their problem is they take advantage of the fact that, the minorities and the women will vote for us. Because they always have. Who else are they going to? So they need to stop doing that too.
What have you done? What have you done?
They're going to vote for you.
What have you done for women and minorities to come out and vote for you? Have you done
Not
anything?
be Republican. That's pretty much it.
Have you done anything about the Supreme Court, the handmaidens that are up there? Have you done anything about securing a woman's right to choose regardless of what's going on in the Senate or whatever, the filibuster, work it out. Because as of right now, there is no guarantee that women will have a right to their own reproductive choices with these draconian laws that are being passed. And there's no guarantee for any person of color in this country with the way that the draconian laws are being passed. So do something and give these people a reason to show up.
Yes, absolutely.
So enough of the ranting. I'll shut my mouth now because whatever. So Bill Barr has a book coming out. And he's been making the rounds all over TV saying that he was the only reason that the guardrails were on Donald Trump and he didn't go crazy and blah, blah, blah. So Barney Rebel, how's his book going to do?
Well, you know what's funny is like one of the first interviews I saw, he said he definitely would vote for Trump again, even after January 6th. And then a future interview I saw, he said he would campaign against Trump for 2024.
So what's that about? And when I saw that unfold, the ridiculous thing of saying he'd vote for him after spending the whole book saying what a creep and an imbecile he was. I mean, what was that? And then backpedaling. So I'm beginning to wonder about Bill Barr's mental health, to be honest with you.
He said he wouldn't prosecute him for Jan 6 either.
I don't worry about his mental health because his thing is he thinks people are stupid enough that he can lie to them to their faces. And
look, that's absolutely right.
That
and he's the one who thinks, he's the only smart guy in the room. Yeah, he's one of those.
Just like when Fox News went from pro-Russia, pro-Putin to overnight flipping the switch against Russia. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, is their audience that dumbed down that they do not realize that just 12 hours ago, Tucker Carlson and everybody was telling him how brilliant Putin was to turn on your TV today and hear the exact opposite? Like, is that how tuned out?
I talked to one every couple of days when I worked in Florida because the place they lived in, they called it LA, which meant Lower Alabama. And we get all of the people who, still sleep in their mother's house and the basement and their mother and father and from the same family tree, that whole type of thing. All that stuff was right there in that little Cosmo. And this woman, she'd come in and that's where she got her news, was from Fox. And it doesn't matter what it is that's going on in the world. What she believed is what they told her. And you could tell by the way she spoke that she fed everything they fed her, she ate it. And they can, in the same sentence, they can change their mind on something and she'll still believe both things.
Yeah. How's his book do? He's out in the cold. America is done with him since the insurrection, and he bailed before the insurrection. He's just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing is coming in. Sales may even get blocked in some places. It's kind of like people are like, oh, I'll wait until like somebody does a video talking about what's in his book. I'll listen to it. I'll be right back, guys.
I did a reading on him already. Like, why is he so chatty? He's out just chatting it up. And all of them are, because they're trying to turn the tide on Donald Trump and say, because even Bill Barr said he lost. The election was not stolen from you. You lost.
Is this the moment where like the Titanic has hit the iceberg, split in half of the ship is underwater, the other half is only like, there's only like a foot left, and then they're finally going, oh crap, I think we forgot to jump ship. Like, is that?
Because all of them are trying to save image now. I get King of Wands and the Eight of Wands. There is, to me, he doesn't really care about the book. What he wants is interviews and that type of thing. He wants to be out in front. He wants to do the chit chat circuit. He wants that thing. Because when did he talk to Lester Holt? When he was the Attorney General? And that's the first thing he wants to do once he has a book out. He doesn't care about that book. He wants to manipulate. He wants to talk. He wants to let everybody know the thing that they don't want to hear about Donald Trump, all that type of thing. Remember, because I did this reading twice, because I asked off camera, I asked, why is Bill Barr doing all this talking? And I got wonderful cards. I got like the temperance because every time I read on Bill Barr, the first reading you do is always nice. It's like, you know what, but I have learned you have to do it twice because Bill Barr has a mask on the entire time. And so it's like he was the hardest person I have ever had to read on because you can never get at what the core.
You're absolutely right.
Is. And so he's worried about what's going to happen going forward. There's a lot of stuff to sift through and all that type of stuff. So he's more trying to control the narrative and go out and put these images out or these statements. He doesn't really care about the book. He just needs the opportunity to talk. And that's what he's doing. But watch him. He's sneaky.
Double sneaky. This just bears out what you were saying. Now, here's the hand through the wall, right? I love this card. Okay, so this is him. I'm telling the truth in this book. Here you go, which is just so ridiculous. Like you, Johnny, I got the Magician. The problem is with Bill Barr, he's not stupid. He has a lot of power, blah, 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 but he has no heart, right? And he has no charisma. So this is the problem for him because he's dreary, unfinished business, right? So I think he put it out, like you say, to get the interviews and stuff, but also to put it on the record when all this goes down with Jan 6. It wasn't me. I tried my best at the 11th hour to stop him. You know, it's that motivation. High Priestess, we haven't got a clue what rocks Bill Barr and his world, really. The hidden agendas, you know, are lined up back to Arkansas. You know, how would you know? And because he has no charisma, no charm, no anything, people can't get a handle on him. Here are the two wolves. Is he the loyal wolf to America, or is he the treacherous wolf, or who is it? But he's a wolf. You know what I mean? Like, so people can't get a handle on him. And that's exactly what you're saying, Johnny. And that has been my experience before, more than any of these other characters we've read on for 4 years, 5 years. So he's got a force field on some level, and whatever's going on is nothing to do with what he says.
Ugh. God, he's gross. I don't like him one bit. I get that his book is going to be chronically like criticized because of all the thievery and corruption that was going on. It's going to be criticized, and there's only a small bit of people that are going to actually like it. So it's not going to be like, unless he pulls a John Jr. and buys 800,000 copies of his own book.
Yeah,
you know?
Something like that will get up sales. Nothing else will. Who would buy Bill Barr's book, right? It's because there'll be those X thousand who buy it because they're investigative journalists, or they just want to get the whole picture, and they just...
If you're an investigative journalist, call the publishing company and ask for an advanced reader copy.
Well, indeed.
Your money.
It's harder and harder to get advanced copies now, but yes, absolutely. So it doesn't actually have an audience, because if you're a Trumper, the chances of you reading thick books last thing at night before you go to sleep are really small anyway. And, you know, I just don't think it's got any appeal to anybody.
Mm-mm. Nope. Which makes me wonder, why did he write a book anyways?
Why not? Everybody else is.
Look, exactly. It's also, it's ego too.
Yeah.
So even though the conversation now doesn't go on in books, it goes on online and everything else, there's an ego to that generation. Oh, my book, you know. And I think it's worth with, what's his name with the porn star moustache? John Bolton.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, his book, I think probably, I don't know, I've only seen him interviewed about the stupid book. But he did all the good things in the book, you know, all rah, rah, rah. Well, why did you wait 2 years and let the country be on the brink of destruction to say it?
Why did you get subpoenaed by the committee and snub your nose at him and just say, I'm not going to go?
Yeah, and then go away and write your stinking fetid book. No.
at impeachment number 1, when you had front row seats, Fiona Hill showed up. The woman had balls. She showed up. You turned and ran and hightailed it ass and elbows the other direction.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you want to claim to be the hero? I don't think so. I don't think so. So let me see. What's the next question? Okay. I got Bill Barr. Okay, so here's another fun petty one. So Donald Trump's social media truth has gone absolutely kaput.
Yes.
And the person in charge of that was Devin Nunes. Devin Nunes.
I keep wanting to say Marco Rubio, but of course it was Devin Nunes. Yeah.
Yes. The Devin the cow, the one that sued the fake.
I love that. And he better get a food taster, because we know with the Yeti he'll never take responsibility.
So my question is, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on with that Truth Social. They've been charging people to join them.
Yeah.
The site doesn't work, and now there's like a delay and a waiting list, like you're at the Department of Motor Vehicles waiting to get your license to get on the platform.
Do we know how much it cost?
I think it's $25.
And
Yes,
don't forget Gen
which is
Z
not
bombed
nothing.
the crap out of them. Gen Z, the young generation, has been joining and giving them a 1-star review.
On the App Store, downloading the app, giving it horrible reviews, and then ending the membership.
Oh, good on
But wait,
bless.
wait. Is Truth Social supposed to be like Twitter and Facebook?
Yes.
Then why would you pay to join it when everybody else, literally everybody else, is free?
That's what people in cults do, Johnny. You're
That's
stupid.
right.
You don't think.
my
So
God.
they tell you $25 and you're like, I don't need to eat this month. And then
First of all,
He gets them to pay him money for other stuff.
why? That's the real question. Why was I shocked?
Yes, exactly.
Why was Johnny shocked?
Yeah, I think you better do a bit of soul searching about that one.
I
It
mean-
does sometimes. You're deep in this stuff. You know how hideous they are, and occasionally something still gets you, and you go,
Because you can join the parlay for free. You can join Getter for free.
yeah.
all of those went belly up too, did they not, Johnny?
Oh yes. Well, Getter
all
is
went
nearly dead because their entire IT department has been let go because they couldn't pay them, and they have very little to no advertising. And Parlay has been taken over by Mercer, so that'll be around forever. But
Yeah, but also that thing, what content are you going to get? This is why they can't get advertisers. Send Hillary to jail. What happened to Hunter Biden? I mean, would you pay money for that conversation
$25?
again?
They stole.
is it like a month? 25 a month?
I don't know.
And they
You know how
probably
many?
keep the details, you know. Remember that happened before with him. They kept pulling the money out.
Oh yeah, for the renewed donations.
Yeah. I bet it's that.
I don't feel bad at all. I do not feel bad at all.
And I'm thrilled that Devin Nunes is going to go down the gurgler with it. It's bliss.
He left the Congress to go run
Yes.
the company that was doing.
So-
That's your example. This is him jumping on the Titanic while it's sinking.
Yes.
Why does Johnny?
With the ship, Johnny, the orchestra that was playing, it sank with the ship. It's at the bottom of the ocean. And Devin Nunes is like, let me join.
So why was Johnny shocked? Because Johnny, King of Swords, keeps waiting on people to abandon Trump.
Because
Why they're not, and he's confused as to why they keep giving him money. Lots of it.
In the words of Auntie Fee, do you know how much chicken and gizzards I can get for $20? Okay. What's the question? What was we doing? I'm sorry.
But I guess what happens to Devin Nunes, because that was supposed to be his project, his baby. He was in charge of that. That's why he left Congress. And
What went wrong?
went belly up.
Oh, look, Devin Nunes.
Gave up a seat in Congress.
a guaranteed seat because of the district that he comes from.
Yeah. And that district, I think they're dairy farmers or something who are totally dependent on Mexican labor. And so the people vote for him to go and say, no immigration. You know, like.
And
what?
Lena, I was stationed out in his district. I lived there for quite a long time. And you're right. Dairy farmers, period. You know, the whole area, it's just a bunch of, you know, but it's like, it was a guaranteed seat. He could have died at his desk in Congress and for that.
Yeah.
For that.
Exactly. Well, it was like the farmers in the UK who voted for Brexit because they didn't want to be told what to do by Europe. And now, of course, they can't sell their milk or their meat or their, you know, anything. Duh. And they're going, oh, didn't think about that.
And I wonder how great the farmers are doing when Trump started his trade war with China.
And exactly. Remember the soy farmers and all of that. I voted for him. Now I wish I hadn't, and all of that.
Now I'm belly up. I went bankrupt. This farm has been in our family for 5 or 6 generations, and I lost it all because of Trump.
Yeah.
So his boss Trump thought it was a good idea when he came up with the plan to charge for joining it. You know, it's like, yes, that's brilliant. That's a great idea. And now that it's failing, he's like, pack your bags. You're moving. Get out.
Well, because of these questions, it's like I've only got 5 cards in 2 decks, right? Because they keep I've been shuffling and shuffling, but here we go.
He could seek a job with Putin.
Oh, sorry, Jenn, go on.
He could
get a job with Putin. Yeah, right. I only got 3. Wheel of Fortune. This is absolutely his time. He gets the drowned card. Followed by the Tower. I mean,
jump on the sinking ship.
4-year-old.
He went to work for Medusa.
I get the 9 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, the craziest looking Judgment card you've ever seen with the big giant bomb being dropped. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, Chariot. All of that means they do not know what they were doing, and this is more work than they thought.
That's right.
This is me going into the kitchen to make Monte Cristo sandwiches. This is not something you were prepared to do just because you read it in a book. This is how you start a social media company. That's not, no, you can't go do social media for dummies and then think you're going to make some big giant company. That's not how this works. There's the Chariot, more work than they thought. Everybody was not on the same page. And that's how you get the Chariot going.
Yeah.
9 of Swords, this was more worry. This was more stress than they thought. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, impulsivity. These are opposites. The Knight of Pentacles is methodical. This is the measure twice, cut once person. This is the person who makes sure everything is right before he acts. The Knight of Swords
isn't.
He hears go. You don't even have to get to the O. He just hears the G and he's out the door. So it's like, this is, they were not prepared for this. And this 2 of Cups is almost perfect. One was upside down, one was the other way. So this is supposed to be cooperations and unions and bonds, but on the same page whatsoever. So this is going to be doomed. It's going to continue to be doomed because it just is. Look at the people who are involved.
That's hilarious. And Trump never fails to put a friend in who can't do the job. That's his criteria. It's really important that you can't do this job. Otherwise, I won't employ you.
You know, the scapegoat in is what he puts in.
You know what he does? He gives them that test: man, woman, camera, TV. An IQ test. He gives it to them to make sure that they can get the job.
And then gives
they
them
have to fail because he's the only one who's
exactly. They have to fail the test.
He gives them a Sharpie to see how well they draw.
I get that he's going to be okay. There's a couple of financial contracts that are secured, which makes me wonder who's funding this. because there's a couple of contracts where the money, the financing, and the resources is secured. It's reliable. So it makes me wonder who's funding this, because you can't tell me Trump shelled up this money.
No.
You know, so whoever's funding this,
What he's trading stocks on it, isn't he?
It is funded by oh hell. It's Trump Media something, but somebody else is putting the money in. It's like,
oh, they'd have to be. But I'm thinking, Becca, with those cards, it could be, because this was about Devin Nunes.
Yeah.
It could be that he's going to be financially secure even after this falls over. Nothing to do with this, because, you know, he's got massive assets.
Yeah.
He's going to close his winery.
You know, I don't see the company here going up. It's showing that he's going to be financially secured and set. But there's a couple of financial contracts that he's in as well. There's more than one. So that's why I was questioning. I was like, who funded this project? For this?
Yeah, it wasn't Donald Trump. It was somebody else. Well, somebody's else.
Somebody's.
It was listed in some little article I read a long time ago.
They were accusing him of doing pump and dump with their stocks and stuff.
Yes.
Mm.
And it was underfunded to a certain extent, you know, because they would have talked up large and they didn't get any of the proper stuff done. So it could have been starved of real funds if you want to launch a real project.
Like give us your money, but we're really going to line our own pockets and give less than 5% to the company.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But it shows that he's going to be financially secured, sitting pretty. So.
Oh, look, it's like Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. They've come from inherited wealth, and it doesn't matter. They can screw up every waking moment of their lives and they make money in their sleep.
Yep. Marjorie Taylor Greene was the other day was bragging on a show that she's basically making $0 while in Congress now because she has been fined so much by Nancy Pelosi for not wearing a mask. And she owes so much in fines that it's basically her entire congressional salary. And she's bragging about it like it's like
it wouldn't hit the sides.
No, that's just her congressional salary. It's like, and you're over here like, you know how many poor people are in her state? Go feed those people with your congressional salary instead of lighting it on fire.
Oh, that's right. Somebody in the chat just refreshed my memory. Hoover, it was a Chinese company that backed him that had been known for fraud and stuff with stocks before. That's who is backing him. A crooked Chinese company.
Interesting. Speaking of Chinese company, I just saw something on Twitter the other day. They were saying that Trump was trying to get China to go to war with Russia.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, sure. I mean, let's give him a parachute, bone spurs. Let's see how good you'll do. So, here's a question. Ron Johnson, why was he in Moscow on 4th of July a few years ago?
Where is he from? What does he represent?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's a senator from Wisconsin. So why was Ron Johnson in Moscow? This was a couple years ago. I forget what year.
July 4th, 2018, along with there were 8 Republicans that went.
Yeah, very weird stuff.
Followed a year later by Rand Paul carrying a letter over from Trump. little sneaky Pete on the bottom, what completion of deals he was working on. I get they're going to come to light, like we're going to learn about them in the future, but I get, manipulating in secret things for the White House, securing money, dollars, that they had an agreement on, and he was doing work for the government to push forward their agenda in secret. But there's money involved.
There's money. He has no shame, this guy. Oh, God.
He's the worst of the worst. He's awful.
Yeah, I don't know him, but these cards are not a nice person.
You're not missing anything at all. He's like
I'm sure.
disgusting racist. It's just, he's gross. He is so gross.
Yeah. He's, what I get, he was, of course, it's about money. I get a princess and a queen of discs, which are money. He pushed him over. He gets the judgment card, which is kind of weird. Why would I think in this sense, it means he made a judgment to go on this trip, because unlike some of them, I think he sort of hesitated for a while, which I hadn't thought of, and then decided to go because he was convinced. I love this card. It's full of bats and bat wings and stuff going on. So together with the magician, so he was convinced, didn't want to go, but if I go, I can make all these deals that will bring money back to me and his family, I think. With all these female cards, I think he was thinking of something to do with the women in his family that could profit hugely. And he's disappointed it hasn't worked out. So that's what I mean by no shame. He's just disappointed the money didn't work out, Why they thought they could go and not be filmed secretly and compromised. Everyone
That's my thing, is why not just set up some Skype meeting, or why do you have to go all the way there to chat?
Yes. Yes.
So
but I get he had to.
12-foot table.
I get Emperor, Empress, he was summoned.
Yeah, well, that would explain what I was getting to. Yeah, he had to go.
Mm-hmm. I get he had to go because he's part of their mission statement here. That's what I get.
So I get that. I got Mountain Man, Book, Sun, Stars. He was under pressure because he has knowledge of something to do with energy, and he was there to provide guidance. Okay. But it has. I'm getting energy for some reason with the Sun.
That would make sense.
And wait, hold on. Energy. When were they trying to do the Hunter Biden energy thing with
the gas?
Because this is energy here.
Yeah.
And this is like providing guidance, grids, maps, knowledge here, and secrets with Book. When was that? When they were trying to do stuff with Hunter Biden and that energy company?
Yeah.
That would have been shortly thereafter, because then that's what they were trying to blackmail Zelensky into giving evidence of, was that Hunter Biden had done.
He's under pressure here for him, knowledge and secrets, energy, guidance. It had to do something with energy and providing guidance with something to do with energy. So probably he was there as the Rudy Giuliani part 2. Because Rudy made a couple of trips over there too, didn't he? To meet with to try to get dirt that didn't exist on Hunter Biden about some deal with some energy company or something.
Was it Russia, or did he go to Ukraine? It's all a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, he went to the Ukraine, but that was all misinformation from Russia.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What I get is that he knowledge of something to do with energy.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong.
No, that resonates. Yeah.
Interesting. So, okay. So last and final question. I think we'll do this one, a funny one, which I'm just going to make up on the fly. So Johnny, feel free to help me out here, because I didn't really have one. But who can we poke fun of? Let's poke fun of Lauren Boebert.
Oh, too easy.
I know. I just
What?
I just found out that she's been arrested 4 times before she went to Congress.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, Trey Crowder, the liberal redneck, on Lauren Boebert. Johnny's seen it, eh? It's gold.
It's gold. I'm gonna have to check it out. But
it's only a few minutes, and he says she's an experiment in weird science.
And her husband exposed himself to underage people in a public restroom
in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
What?
Awesome.
In the bowling alley. They can no longer go to the bowling alley.
Her husband
exposed himself to underage girls
at a bowling alley.
At a bowling alley while Lauren laughed.
She's an idiot. He's a sex offender.
So so let's save the children from the Democratic pedophiles while my husband's exposing himself.
But it wasn't at a pizza parlor. It was at a bowling alley. That's your
pizza parlors are a no. Apparently, family bowling is an okay. So
one of her arrests was she ran the car off the road and into a ditch because she was so drunk or something.
A DUI. One of them was a DUI. So what are the other 3 for? Because it said she was arrested. She's been arrested 4 times before she went to Congress.
Now, I would have thought if you're arrested 4 times, you know what? You can't run for political office. Silly me. Silly me to make that assumption.
But here in America, Lena, you go to jail on a federal crime, you cannot vote. But you can run for office.
You can be president of the U.S.
You can be president of the United States. You can sit in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
But you can't vote. So somebody please make that make sense, because I don't get it.
If you were a senator that had been charged with a felony and you had your voting rights taken away, how can you vote in Congress? That's voting too.
Yeah. I guess voting in elections is what's...
Look, your guys' system is so weird. I have to say, speaking of weird science, I think they sat down in the early days and say, let's make this impossible for anyone to comprehend.
Let's make it impossible for anybody that's not a slave owner to comprehend. Yeah.
So just playing hypotheticals, just completely hypotheticals. What would be her 5th arrest?
What would be Lauren Boebert's 5th arrest? Okay.
Somebody who should said it in the chat somewhere that she got for into a fight with the police.
I love this. Her 5th arrest. Oh, that's hilarious.
One of the arrests was because she got into a fight with the police for defending underage teenager drinking. So she got into a fight with the...
Okay.
What a piece of work.
That's another one right there. I do not condone violence, but that is one right there that I would not mind if somebody just drop kicked her right in the mouth.
And then her heckling at the State of the Union, like...
that is such white trash, low rent, man. Like, it's gross.
Look, trust me, you have to track down that clip, because... whatever you can think of, he says it.
And I've seen a couple of his videos too. He's pretty fun and very quick when he talks.
Oh yeah, he's a smart guy. Yeah, for sure.
With that thick accent.
I love him so much.
So what would Lauren Boebert be arrested for next?
Oh, well, what I've got, love and death. And the volcano. So I think... she's having an affair with someone or something, and she goes and trashes the house and beats up the girlfriend, or
True Jerry Springer.
It's total Jerry Springer stuff.
Okay, I have to go after that because mine marries up to that a little bit. I get like celebrity filming something like porn, like in a moving vehicle while doing it.
Jenny, brain bleach, please.
Moving violation and little nudity may be involved.
Oh, she's
Caught on camera somehow. Like,
and the nurse's uniform that wasn't hers.
maybe a bowling alley uniform.
Oh my word. Oh,
Okay, well then I have to change my sentence then. There's concealing evidence.
It's funny already.
But okay, Jesus. But she's sitting on it.
Honey, are you talking? I'm going to get real gross here. For those of you sensitive, cover your ears. Are you talking about she's stealing dildos from the sex shop?
But however you look at it, how do you hide evidence? How do you hide evidence when you're naked? Oh, that's
now,
right.
if she got 9 of them, then I mean, Lord Jesus.
Oh, Johnny.
Lord Jesus. That gives a whole new meaning to car in the garage, isn't it?
Oh, Lordy.
But I'm stopping there.
You're stopping there? I'm like the most boring person here. Everybody has something funny, and I'm like so boring. So I got key, power, letter, fish, and mountain. Something significant that the government mailed out checks for businesses that were struggling or business.
Oh,
PPP.
because she took PPE.
That's what
that'd be right.
Important government mail for checks for businesses that were delayed. That's what I see. I had the most boring one.
Right.
Yeah, but it's because of those checks that she could afford her new car to get it. Go out and do her moving violation and have
her 9 other friends.
Go hide evidence.
There's some very funny comments going on here, including the Republicans are all perverts. Thank you, Running Sloth. Someone said sex on camera in a car in the Capitol parking lot with a 19-year-old intern.
They're probably a 17-year-old student or something.
Yeah.
I can see her doing something like that. I mean, her vocabulary, Fauci, ouchie. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She's
13 in the head for sure.
Yeah, she's 13 in the head. I mean, no offense to 13-year-olds, because that's an insult, but she's something else. Like,
purse full of meth.
Purse full of meth.
Oh, Lord.
There you go, an affair with Rittenhouse.
Good Lord.
I think that's nailed it.
That took it.
Comment of the century.
That wins. That wins.
Matt Gaetz in the room filming it too.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And Jerry Falwell waiting outside for his turn.
Taking notes. Oh, Jesus. We're all going to hell for sure.
And I'm running the show, VIP tickets for everybody. So
Thank you, Zenpi.
Thanks, guys.
thank you, everybody. And thank you so much, Lena, for joining us tonight. Anytime you want to come back, just let us know.
Thank you so much.
And I want to thank all the moderators, all the super chatters, everybody for leaving questions. Sorry we couldn't get to everything. It's just how it is. So we will try next time. Next week we will be.
One more comment I just read. She's going to be so disappointed when her boyfriend won't leave his wife.
We have officially put the petty boots on Lena.
Lena, you missed it earlier in the show. I was telling them that I had ordered 2 bookmarks they're coming from Europe, from the UK. So when they get here, I'm going to have to show them. But one of them is blue and green, or no, I'm sorry, yellow and green, yellow and blue for the Ukraine. And it says, fuck Putin. And then the other one says Petty Bitch Club. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, awesome.
This is the Petty Boots Club, but Petty Bitch will do. Petty Bitch will do.
Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you, everybody. Next week, we will be on Johnny's channel. I want to thank all the moderators. Thank you to Auntie Lena for joining us. I hope we didn't get too gross for you, but
well, we're the Petty Boots Club.
I know.
Damn bad.
You can take the girl out the Navy, but you can't take the Navy out the girl, you know?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.